talk to me.
I open the pages, they talk to me.
Come on now, brew walk for me.
Urban Gorilla, that sauce on me.
Yeah, I was shy, pay the cost on me.
He the boss man, he got up on that cross for me.
He the boss man, he got up on the cross for me.
He the boss man, he got up on that cross.
Yeah.
I open the pages, they talk to me.
Come on now, brew walk for me.
Urban Gorilla, that sauce on me.
Yeah, I was shy, pay the cost on me.
He the boss man, he got up on that cross.
My life, because I was raised in the church, of course. But being a person who, I guess, you call hippie. Yeah, like I grew up like a hippie, but it was, I don't know, free love and all this stuff, and I was pressed against it until my brother showed me one of y'all's videos, and I watched it, and I liked how y'all would, instead of just talking out your ass, you just literally open up and show, and then like, put forth like good translation. I would sit there and like read along, it makes sense.
Scholarship.
And then since growing up, I guess in America, and being a military brat, I was born in Germany, and just traveling all over, seeing all the other people that aren't us have some type of culture, and I didn't like how our culture was twerking and talking.
Sorry, we're not coming back through, promise.
Talking with terrible language and all this stuff, and people always talk about me being a big nerd. I've taken the time to learn Spanish. I've taken the time to learn. Right now, I'm learning Portuguese. So I've been learning Portuguese for August. And seeing my best friend, he's a Portuguese.
So-called Portuguese.
So-called.
He from.
And he didn't want to speak Spanish unless his mom would told him to. And it used to hurt me. I'm like, I don't got that, bro. Like, even though now I know that why they speak Spanish, it's kind of the same reason why we speak English. But like, he had that music and all this, the certain clothes. His godmother is Panamanian, and she showed me like the little native thing they would do, wear stuff around their ankles and do certain dances. I'm like, I don't got that. All I got is, I don't know, the hood. Yeah.
That ain't much.
Yeah, it's not much. When I saw this and saw in the Old Testament all the stuff we used to wear, the meat tree, the fringes.
Resonate with your spirit, huh?
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is what I was looking for.
Hey, get that real quick. Psalm 119, verse 40. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 40. Behold. 119 and verse 40. That's all right, you get this.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Yeah, so through thy precepts I get understanding. That's like what you said. And that's why this kind of resonated with you a little bit more, because, through the Spirit of the Lord, he enabled us to, kind of dive a little deeper, and get understanding through these precepts. This is how all this is ever formed. Go ahead.
Therefore I hate every false way.
And by that, you hate every false way. You hated Christianity after that, because you got an understanding of the pure, unadulterated doctrine of the Most High. Through simply, something as subtle as His word, something that was always on your coffee table. But now the Lord is, in the last days, giving His Spirit unto His men, and giving understanding. He broke off those seals, man.
Are y'all gonna be here tomorrow as well?
Lord willing.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, 4:30.
How does this start? Like on Friday?
I know, but I watch
video.
Friday like around 7. This time. Around this time. Saturday 4:30 to 8. 4 o'clock to 8.
It's not basically. It's not the law.
It's not the law.
It was just a cousin.
You live in Dallas?
I know.
Okay, so it was never law.
Colleen, okay.
That's
2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
So you drove all the way from there to here?
Well,
Just for this?
Her parents live in Mesquite, but I was gonna come up here to come see y'all because there's nothing in Killeen for this.
Oh, okay.
That's good, bro.
Oh, there's a camp out there in Killeen.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the one that came to see us.
Yeah, it sure is.
Lions of Judah, Lions of Zion, 144.
What are you?
Yeah, they're here. Huh?
They was here?
They came. They gave us a wing bucket. Remember that one time?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it. They out there.
Okay.
I got to figure out where.
You got to get your number or something. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, well, yeah. We got our number on there and everything. Right here? Oh, yeah.
Good, bro. Yeah, was it? You had some?
So when it comes to my beard and stuff, so I have a temporary profile, so I can keep my beard. Profile's gonna be over. I think it's already, but I'm not saying that. So I just started over. I'm one of them. I'm 31. So I'm one of them, like, I'm older, my hair still grows like I'm a child. And as I've been trying to follow,
You can't really stop
you
it.
can walk on
Because we never
it
had
gets to my mouth here, so I don't know if it's going to get shows.
And also, it's not disrespectful to have your hair.
Oh, yeah.
So you can trim that up.
Couple brothers say,
Yeah, just don't
like,
take,
all
a razor and just
maybe
go smooth
right,
with it.
but as long as you got the
Army, the National Guard, they don't make y'all shave your whole beard.
You say I'm on the shaver profile, so the shaver profile that I have, the temporary, it's for the bumps, because since I've been in the shaver, it would be like mad cuts.
No, but they was
What do you shave with?
I shave
With a razor?
I do.
My job requires me when they make me, shave my beard as well. So, what you can do instead of getting, like a razor, just get you some clippers and don't set it all the way low. Still leave a little bit of scope. So that way, you're not actually screwing the whole thing.
That's what the religious foundation is. It actually has pictures of the whole regulations. Literally show a picture of a man with religious.
Right, I was getting it in today.
Long, but girls, they want us to be able to keep it. Oh, look, but we're not allowed to use petroleum, because it's flammable. But I was going to use it anyway, because that's got like a big source.
Now, petroleum gel, it's petroleum. It's like oil that they get out of it.
You know about vitamin E oil? They got it pretty much everywhere, like dollar store. And when you cut your beard anytime, I recommend that or tissue. That's how you avoid bumps and irritation. That's what I do. Like if I have to, if I'm trying to shape it or whatever, or if I'm bringing it down lower, I put vitamin E oil, like on the skin part, not where the beard is.
You can actually shape it up. I thought you weren't allowed to cut it out.
Yeah, you can shape it just like
You can shape it.
You can't mark.
Yeah, if you're a Nazarite, you can.
I know.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Because it makes a difference between their face behind your face and body.
I thought it said no razor should come to your face or your something.
That's going into taking your taking a razor and taking it off. Like not shaping it up. Like you can look presentable.
About Nazarite.
He's taking the vow right now.
All them other motherfuckers, they crowd please. They even woman please, bro. When I saw these niggas about how they get break down on the multiple wives, I'm like, man, y'all clearly some
There's some,
for real.
I guess, understandings where, they go to Hebrews and says that nothing from the vine tree, so anything that grows off of the vine, not just grapes, berries, and all that stuff, because they say that in the Hebrew translation, this literally says from a vine tree. So I was just, with my understanding, just trying to make the version that I got, the King James version, the Apocrypha, it just literally said, it does say things like grapes. So I was saying, I haven't took it yet, but I already pretty much practiced not eating grapes, juice, or grape juice and wines. I haven't drank it.
Yeah, you should be good then.
Yeah, that's basically everything.
Yeah.
Don't drink. Hey, but y'all can drink going. This summer Passover, y'all can.
Honey meat.
It's like honey meat, right?
Yep, honey meat.
I know, not the one drunk
No, I'm just learning.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know about it too?
I do. We're
Okay.
getting married, and I don't want to
Okay.
live
Oh,
in
great.
Joe's life or he or any of that. So I'm going to learn as much as I
Okay, that's
can
good.
so I can follow and follow along.
That's good.
That's good, man.
I think, where do y'all get your fridges from? Because I got this from a guy, I think he lives in California. I found him on YouTube, and his wife makes this stuff.
But we got brothers like that we make. No, Ramamai make it. And we got people in our Sicarii thing that make them.
You got Facebook? We can give you their Facebook info.
numbers.
Oh
yeah. Yo, what's up, nigga?
I make
tassels too.
I did it from my acre.
That's
They came out the car and I had to hold it up like a maybe right there. Okay, but I separated.
Oh, that's
Okay, I ain't even know what happened.
I literally want to research.
They said they stalking for real, and they come in.
Are you too, bro? All right, now.
Fully practiced an Israelite in the army.
in the army. Okay.
Hey, but you in the real army now with Revelation 11. You in the real army, right? Nah, Ezekiel 37. Yep.
But they all in the comments, like anybody can go there right now and read them that I be in there going at it with their look at this motherfucker here. He said
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them.
Yeah, so after 3 days and a half, the spirit of the life entered into us, into those dry bones that Ezekiel 37 was going into. Talk about how, yeah, I want to get somewhere around there, yep. Go ahead.
And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them.
So we stood upon our feet as a great army, like Ezekiel 30, found that? Okay, bet, like Ezekiel 37 said, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet.
See, just like the same thing Revelation just said. Go ahead.
An exceeding great army.
An exceeding great army, right? But now the Lord has, He's called you to His army, and eventually, depending on however the Lord, whatever, how He's going to position you and maneuver you, in your career, He more likely He's going to take you out, because He's enlisted you into His real army, man. Right, because He's coming back to actually destroy and break in pieces this nation and everything that goes along with it. He saw His military.
He said he's doing it. You say you just gonna might as well finish it out and get your car.
Yeah, I feel you.
Since I've been on this, I listen to y'all like every day. Not just y'all, I even play audiobooks of the Bible at work. When I don't have my earbuds, and I let it play, and people be asking me questions, and I be helping them to my best knowledge. So many people come up to me and ask me like, so do you want to be a chaplain? A chaplain system? Y'all know what that is, right? Yeah, and I be like, I asked my brother about it, he's like, nah, because they gonna send you to a seminary school or something, and you're gonna learn stuff that's not right. And I was like, okay, so I've been refusing. You gotta learn money to.
You gotta learn from a man of the Lord.
This is this.
Good.
And they heard a great voice. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, "Come up hither."
And they heard a great voice of this army that stood up on their feet in the last days, and fear fell upon these other nations. Right? They heard a voice from heaven says, "Come up hither." That's the Lord calling us into those holy vessels, those chariots. You know about the chariots, right? Okay.
I think it's just to say that.
Since I first joined the military, I had this weird ass dream, and I came home and I spoke to my grandma, and I was like, I believe in him again. I'm gonna let you know this. My grandma was like 86.
I know he ain't had shit to say after that.
Crickets. Like, Grandma, I don't believe that.
Crickets.
God is like some big old man that's in the culture. He's just really smart. He's gonna have like cool shit. And then
That's good spirit, man.
She was 85 now. She's like,
yeah, you can find that brother.
You was built for this, man. I said you was built for this, because a lot of people can't receive that. A lot of people can't receive that. Yahweh Shai and and His angels are going to come back and what the world will call UFOs. That's a stumbling block for a lot of our people. That's so called in the truth, man. Because when you read, I want to say in the Psalms, the 73rd chapter. Now not that. In the 73rd chapter, it talks about how our people, we never trusted in the salvation of Yahweh Shai and why Yahweh. And those chariots, that's a method or a vehicle to our salvation. But it wouldn't be foreign. Yeah, Yahweh Shai. Yeah. But we never trusted in His salvation. But it's good that the Lord put that spirit, that believing spirit in you to actually trust that that'll be one of the means of mechanisms of your salvation. You asked me? Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. What was it?
First Kings 8:50?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about like, as the brother said, like they allow religious accommodations in the army. That's part of
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 8 and verse 50. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee. And give them compassion before them who carry them captive.
Yep. So the Lord's giving us compassion. And hey, this is why, even in the law it says that He is merciful. He's long suffering. So even when He, did ship you up like a can of sardines, and give me that in Isaiah 22, man. Isaiah 22, because this is a perfect illustration through the scriptures exactly how the Lord did us. Isaiah 22 and verse Start at verse 17.
Book of Isaiah chapter 22 and verse 17. Behold, the Lord will carry thee away with a mighty captivity, and will surely cover thee. He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball.
He would toss you like a what?
Toss thee like a ball.
He would toss you like a ball. And that's exactly how we were tossed. We were curled up like a ball on those slave ships. Go ahead. Then we're going to go back down.
Into a large country.
Into a large country. Wow. What country is that, man? Right here. Go ahead, but it gets better. Go ahead.
There shalt thou die.
There shalt thou die. That's the dry bones. Proving that America is that grave. Right? Go ahead.
And there the chariots of thy glory shall be the shame of thy Lord's house.
You see, and it's a shame for a lot of our people because they're still in that dead estate. Right? Go ahead. What verse is that?
19. Well, that was 18.
Yeah, that's good. So that's a beautiful illustration of what the scripture said that will happen to us, and that did happen to us. Right? We got curled up to a ball, to a large country, we died. Now we don't trust in the Lord's salvation. But even though He did all that, He's still merciful and forgiving. He's still giving us some type of pity and compassion, to the point to where, even when we do work for our oppressor, we'll have some type of leeway, some type of, I wouldn't say escape, because
It says it in the word.
Okay, yeah, keep reading. Yep.
You still got that, Jeremiah?
Verse 19. And I will drive thee from thy station.
Back to
Oh,
verse
slack.
Drop in the precept.
Kings 8 and 51. 8 and 50. Slack. First Kings 8 and 50. I'm going to start all over. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carry them captive, that they may have compassion on them.
See that? So they may have compassion on them. Now, of course, Esau's compassion is still cruel, but nonetheless, he gives us a little bit of compassion, right? We have, just like Daniel, when he was in Babylon, he had favor. He had, he was in the upper echelons, if you will. Moses, he was right along with King Pharaoh. Joseph, you see? So the Lord's always had favor upon us. You got that, Jeremiah?
What says?
Hey, how far do you want to go on that?
It's just to the end of the verse.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was it.
Hey, yeah.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
See that? Hey, that's that's perfect, man. When a man's ways please the Most High, He makes even his enemies be at peace with him. And so the Lord has put that spirit upon you to return back unto Him and to please Him, keep His laws, statutes, commandments, and have faith in His Son, Yahweh Shah. So by default, the Lord is going to, give you mercy. You got that, Jeremiah?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15, verse 11. The Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant.
With thy remnant. So it's really these mercies and this long suffering is really extended down into the remnant or the elect. Go ahead.
Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well.
You see, He will cause the enemy to entreat thee well. That's exactly what's happening, man. All right, that's it on that. Okay.
In the time of evil and in the time of affliction.
In the time of evil and the time of affliction, because certainly we're in the time of evil, and the time of affliction. You see what's happening right here in Dallas. People's homes are getting flooded, getting evicted, all types of catastrophes, but the Lord, while everybody else is catching hell, He's giving you peace. He's giving you a comfort of the scriptures. Like, give me that Romans 15 and 4. All right. Because the verses are not
Now, what do you, as long as that's a religious foundation, that should be enough, honestly, unless they put in any stipulation. If that is something they would say that could possibly may have the religious accommodation for the fringes and the beard, but when it comes to that, they might have a hard time with the hair. And I was telling them, I had to speak to the chaplain, who was Mike, by the way, and I was telling them that I don't understand why they was denied, because the only reason they were denying the hair is a sexist reason by, I guess, this worldly standard. A man shouldn't have long hair and a female should.
Nah, just show them how to
Yep.
Right. So I had to say that. That's how she was saying.
Now you good, bro.
Damn, nigga, you taking care of your kids.
I'm gonna take it.
He's like, yeah, motherfucker. What you mean?
It talks about like Ecclesiastes how we are righteous and the
Oh yeah, that's Ecclesiastes 7.
Let me show you how to take it.
But if you want it, what about braids?
I mean, that's what I was going to do.
Braids.
Like, as it grows, I was going to keep it braided all the time so it can be close to my head, not just a giant fro.
Okay.
But, you know, just some people, they start asking questions. A lot of people start looking different than everybody else. And that's not the reason I'm going to do it. The reason I'm doing it is so I can have, like, I don't know, more discipline and be closer to God.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that's pretty much it. Once my vows are over, cut it. And I was planning on doing it for my duration of my career. So
How long that would be?
I have 12 more years.
12 more years?
I wouldn't do it now, I mean, just plainly, you should know being in the military, you are literally the government property. No matter what they give you, what they say. Exactly. They can make you cut it, forcing you to break your Nazarite vow. So it's more wise to wait out. So that way you don't have an outside penalty that you can't. You can still make a vow. I just don't recommend making a Nazarite vow.
In the army. Like if I'm saying you got that much long, like I ain't know you.
Yeah. If it would have been like 6 months, alright, cool. You live for a long haul, my guy.
The thing is, like, you make a Nazarite vow, at the end of it, you got to provide sacrifice. If you don't got that sacrifice, you can't do it. I know people.
We ain't got no time.
We ain't got to take it. We don't have to give it to people. We can still sacrifice. And put our hair where it is.
You can. Get, what is it, Leviticus?
Oh, but let me give me a scripture.
No. Leviticus 17.
Oh, what was this
That's a lot. But I'll say when you're done with that, get Leviticus 17.
Oh, you good?
1 through 5 in regards to sacrifice. Why we can't sacrifice.
Okay. You understand that? Well, basically, in a nutshell, before we get all that, you can't sacrifice because we're not in our own land. You know, so you got to be at a specific place. According to Deuteronomy chapter 12 in the scripture that he told you. You know, you got to be in your own land and in the temple.
You got to fly out there when you're not wet.
It ain't even go to the boat. It got to be in a specific place. It got to be where the Lord named. The Lord said it's gone. Where it's at now, you don't even know it's just the place where the Lord said it is. So you can't do no sacrifices right now until Oh, but look, let me leave right too.
All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 16. Be not righteous over much.
So you don't want to be over righteous. You don't want to be righteous over much. You know, because at the end of the day, we got to remember, you know, that nobody's going to be saved by keeping the law anyway. It's all through faith, you know, and grace that Yahweh Shah gives us. Go ahead.
Neither make thyself overwise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Because you live.
I know when you first come into the truth, you be real zealous
to do so. I already know. You can't help it. Everybody go through that phase.
But it's like there's scriptures like this that we didn't know once we was coming in that you gotta have a balance. You ain't gonna be able to do
all of this. You still rehearsing the righteous act, so don't be over righteous if you ain't got to in certain predicament.
Like you got 12 more years left. I mean, I wouldn't just
advise being a Nazarite for 12 more years and gotta be in the army because you might, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, if they just want to say, forget that, you gonna cut that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what they'll do, you know what I'm saying? Or they might put stipulations in their religion and stuff.
But I mean, at the end of the day, if the Lord put the Spirit on you to do it, if you want to do it, this ain't number wisdom. Yeah. Well, we do it, but not we do them like during the week. We do it online. We working on trying to do like some school building. We ain't got one that's specific in Dallas, but we're working on getting.
I still do the online classes. So I remember reading in the verse where it says like you get drunk on milk or drink.
Oh yeah, you don't want to drink too much.
Like take too much honey.
Yeah,
and you're trying to learn too much at one time. You gotta pace yourself at anything you do. You know what I'm saying?
In life,
it may be hard, but sometimes like if you look at my YouTube don't even pull up music.
Yeah, okay, but all of us want to do that. All of us want to do that phase, man. That's when it's first coming in. But once you start getting more seasoned, your spirit start, you know,
not coming down for the bad, but coming down for the good, so you can have a better balance. And know it's not gonna happen overnight. It takes time for you to have. That's why they got proselytes in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? People that starting off, you can't throw
put the whole law on them as soon as they coming into the truth.
It's just a balance of everything. You don't want to take too much honey and throw it up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to kill it.
Read this real quick.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes,
because we all came into this thing that we born again, right? Forget everything that we just was ever taught, and now we're getting built up because we're new. Go ahead.
desire the sincere milk of the word.
Now we got desire the sincere milk of the word. You know, because as a baby, you try to give a baby a steak. He can't handle that. You know, it's too much for him. And eventually he's going to, what is that?
Or even too much milk.
Yeah, or even too much milk. You know, so you got to, you know, be equal with everything. You got to take everything in its proper order. Because you got to remember, you know, when you're a newborn baby, everything's got to be trained all over again. Well, everything's got to be trained. Your hearing, your eyesight. That's why, you know, when some newborns, their parents will have to do what? They'll put their finger in front of their face to make their eyes, build up those eye muscles. If not, they have astigmatism. You know, so even with that, the Lord's got to teach you how to look properly, you know, at the scriptures and examine things. You know, so, you know, that we need to get a good base and a good foundation, you know, to get nurtured up properly in the scriptures, you know, before we try to go too deep. Because like the brother said, you know, we all been there. You know, the zeal of the Lord is eating us up, you know, so we ready to just
go hard,
you know. You know, because I was ready. Hey, as soon as I saw this brother, you know, on Dallas, Dallas Sicarii, you know, and he was over there at the Giant Outball. I was watching on my phone. I was like, dang, bro, I gotta be out there right now. You know, I need to be teaching. But it's like when I got out there, it's like the Lord was like, no, wait, because even they was trying to make me hurry up and take my soldier test. I was like, I just feel like I need to get, you know, a little more established, you know, before even I take my test. So I spent every day, you know, to the best of my ability, trying to, you know, get a good foundation. Still getting a good foundation, trying to, you know, because as soon as you think you know it all, man, hey.
I really just passed this first test.
So yeah, bro. So just take your time. You know, the Lord, He knows your spirit. He knows the spirit that He put within you to try to do the right thing. So,
yeah, He knows what you get. He know your heart. But just get me first. Like this high. Well, this First Samuel 16. Let me say the Lord.
He don't look on the outside.
Outside, the Lord, yeah. So the Lord. That ain't saying Christianity trying to take it.
Somebody gonna take the
Christianity trying to take it and say, well, see, you ain't got to keep the law.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Lord knows when you being sincere or not at what you trying to do. So you ain't just got to be over righteous and everything all the time. Basically, that's what the Lord was saying. He judges the heart of, you know,
the reins and hearts.
The sincerity you got.
I ran into a guy at the gym trying to get this equipment. He had his military Bible. It's like a Bible, but it's got like a military design on it and stuff. And I wanted to use it. And then he was like, would you help me build my castle back? Because he had business cards in the form of the castle. Sure. And we started talking about it, and I asked him. He's a brother too, by the way. He's weird. And I asked him, you know, if he knows of the whole Bible. And he said, yeah. So I asked him about the laws. And the first thing he said is that we don't have to keep the laws. He went to like Exodus or something.
He gonna use the law to tell you.
It didn't make any sense. And like we were there to work out, so I didn't want to like
go too hard.
Yeah, I'm like, so that means I can like, you know, give it your wife.
Yeah.
I can steal your stuff. So yeah, I kept his car later.
Maybe who knows when you get a little bit more season, you might hit them up now. You know, talk a little bit. What's up? See you about the area?
Yeah, right out there.
So you know what that is?
A good thing. That's all I know.
Okay. So according to God, get those scriptures. So according to the Bible, you know, sex is marriage. Contrary to, you know, popular belief, you know, wait on Esau to get you some papers. You know, you stand before some reprobate pastor to declare that you're married. You know,
you trying to do it on paper?
I mean, hey, if you still want to do that, you know what I'm saying? We're not trying to tell you don't do that, but we're telling you that marriage, the way how God views it, you know, that is sex according to the Bible. When you go into a woman, you have now just made that woman your wife. According to scriptures. For every man, I ain't trying to tell you how to run your household, we're just going to show you through scriptures. You know?
Yeah. Not saying y'all can't have no ceremony. You can have a wedding.
know, Uncle was shut down. Yeah, like the company itself wouldn't, control that. Uncle would control. I would have to call Uncle.
In a while,
This is the book of Genesis chapter 24 verse 67. And Isaac brought her to his mother Sarah's tent.
So here Isaac is taking Rebecca, right, into his mother Sarah's tent. Go ahead.
He took Rebecca and she became his wife.
So what do you think that happened in that tent? He took Rebecca, right, and brought her into that tent, and then she became his wife. Nowhere in there, did you see a pastor, stand before them and declare them to be married. He took her, he took her.
You can like going from a priest like now, like a man of the Lord, and you do vows in the real way. You know what I'm saying? No, yeah, I'm gonna say vow. My fault. Do the ceremony. Not saying the ceremony. That ain't off. Ceremony not off, but just the way America perpetuated in America.
He loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
So he loved her, So that's how you got a scripture. Okay, yeah, you bring that out. Nah.
I probably like at 4 in the morning, and then come back on like 11.
Everything right.
Yeah, so ain't nothing wrong with getting a ceremony, what y'all doing is get by a true man of the Lord, doing the thing we are. But just the way Esau did put it, in this captivity, a lot of it is just off. But like I said, it is benefits to getting married on paper. Like, say if y'all married, say if God forbid something happened to you, she really got control. Like, if she got something got to happen, your wife got control instead of having to go to the mom or the guardian or something like that. Certain degrees that get up there. But I'm just saying the true way.
We're gonna go ahead and go. I will be back.
All right, man. Nice to meet you, man. Lord willing, we get to see you.
Hey, I'm gonna write down my phone number on there too, and you can hit me up. Well, I just take down your phone number.
What was your name?
Timothy. How's it going?
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
It's Timothy, right? Timothy. My son Timothy. I'm gonna text you.
Y'all like got your name changed or y'all?
Nah, we ain't get it changed, but we got names. Like we get Timothy's card, we get names. I'm type of doctor. That's my YouTube. But we ain't get them changed like on paper. You ain't gotta do all that.
Yeah, you're going to.
I'm going to Timothy. Okay,
yeah, bro. But I just texted you. So, if you got any questions, hit that number up or hit me up.
Lord, one of you here tomorrow? You'll catch a longer camp.
I was frustrated for as long as I could. I watched. There's a certain parts where that watching at work. There's certain parts where I think y'all said where y'all was. I was too busy at work to.
Yeah, we used to be right over there at the eyeball. But now we back to them. They ran us over there, but the Lord had another spot. All right, nice to meet you.
All right, bro. Shalom.